This is a really interesting one. The cyber threat landscape is something that comes up time and time again. You're never happy. Once you get to stage A, stage B happens and you're always developing your regulation and processes around it. So now we have Yosi Shavit. He is the information security and cyber expert at the Israeli Ministry of Environmental Protection, and he's going to be talking about policy and response to this.
Hello everyone, my name is Yosi. I guess we stay here just a group of the survivors after 2 long days and after lunch, so I hope to challenge you today with my presentation. My name is Yosi, you can call me Joseph in English, and I'm working with the Israeli Ministry of Environmental Protection, Department of Cyber Defense, as a consultant for the hazardous materials industry, and responsible for more than 4,000 plants in Israel. Today, I will share with you a new methodology that we have developed in our department, and a new regulation that we are going to implement over the Israeli industry. So it's going to be interesting. First, we established our department 2 years ago due to 2 governmental decisions. The first one is decision 2443 on the promotion of national regulation and government leadership in cyber defense, and the second decision, government decision 244 on the promotion of national preparation for cyber defense. And based on these 2 decisions, a law of the national cyber defense of the state of Israel is being developed. We're expecting this law during 2019, next year, and we think that this law will help the NCSA, National Cyber Authority, to impose obligation on the industry, on the Israeli economy. So, what our roles in our Department of Cyber Defense? Let's see what we have in the plants. In the plants, we have operation technology, OT, okay, which consists of controllers, field devices to measure pressure, temperature, flow, and so on. We also have HMI stations. In every plant, we have, of course, the IT network, which consists of, surfing, mail server, database server, file server, and all the communication between them. Of course, the physical security, which consists of system alerts, cameras, in our business, gas detectors, which is very important. And the most important thing is the human resources. Some speakers talk about security awareness, and also reliability is a very important aspect, because we don't like unhappy employee to damage our plant inside cyber attack. So that's what we have in the plant. What our department give to the plants, we give the framework. Okay? Development of methodology, definition, policy, and requirements. I will present this methodology today in this presentation. You will see how we do cyber risk assessment in chemical terms. Organization and functioning of information exchange between enterprises and organizations in the sector. We intend to establish SIEM-SOC center to exchange data between plants in Israel. And I'm talking about hazardous materials industry. Okay? And 2 more roles: monitoring compliance and initiation and implementation of additional action for cyber defense in the industry. So let's talk about the new regulation. The regulation is imposed by a mechanism called toxin permit. The toxin permit, The toxin permit based on National Hazardous Materials Law. Since 1993, we have law in Israel. And the Ministry of Environmental Protection divides the plants into 3 groups. Group A, Group B, and Group C. Group A have to renew every 1 year, Group B every 2 years, and Group C every 3 years. They must renew the toxin permit in order to do business. Otherwise, we close the plant. The group is determined according to criteria: the quantity of hazardous materials, of course, and proximity to public area. For now, in the toxin permit, we have condition how to maintenance, storage, and transport hazardous materials. And the good news that next month we are going to add cyber security defense. So every plant has to be organized to do the defense. And I will show how they're going to do it. We give toxin permit for 4,261 plants or businesses. It's not plants, it's businesses, including hazardous materials industry, hospitals. In hospitals, we have material called ETO, ethylene oxide for sterilized medical equipment. We have swimming pools. In swimming pools, we have 2 materials, which if they come in contact with each other, we have like cyber attack, okay? The first one is the hypochlorite, and the other one is the salt acid. We have water cooperation in Israel. We have the Israel Electric Company. We have a lot of flammable materials there. Of course, water treatment plants, laundries, yes, also laundries have hazardous materials. Seaports and airports for transportation of hazardous materials. We have wineries. Wineries have sulfur dioxide, SO2, for the preservation of the wine. And it's very dangerous material. In contact with the air, it becomes sulfuric acid, okay? So it's very dangerous. We have also the pharmaceutical industry and pesticide industry. So many areas. So what is the new methodology that I am talking about? The NCSA, Cyber Security Authority, National Cyber Security Authority, published the cyber security methodology for an organization. This book on the left side of the slide, you can download it free in this link in English version. You can download it and use it. Based on this book and based on cyber security function of the NIST CSF, everybody know what is NIST here? Okay, so based on those two, we established our book, the Book of Ministry of Environmental Protection. It's actually called Instruction for Complying with Terms of Toxin Permit in the Field of Information Cyber Protection. You can download also this book. For now, it's only in Hebrew. I hope next year you will have it in English, so you can use it. What we like in the NIST standard is free. You don't have to buy it. You can download it for free from the internet, and it's very suitable for the private sector, especially. Okay. So we use the NIST. The NIST consists of 5 cybersecurity functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. And if I go to details, identify. We like every plan to understand what the cyber security risk in relation to system, assets, data and capabilities. So we ask every plant in Israel to do asset management, to do risk assessment and risk management. The next function is protect, of course. We have to protect ourselves, so we have to do some measure to protect the main critical assets. So we have to put some access control, to do some cloud security, network segmentation, data security, awareness, maintenance, and much more measures. The next stage, detect. Of course, we have to detect the attackers, right? So we have to do some processes to identify the occurrence of events. We have to do monitoring, not we, the plants, security control review, detection process, and of course, anomalies. Then, after we under attack, we have to respond to this attack. So we have to do arrangement to act to the cybersecurity events. We have to do monitoring, security control reviews, detection, and so on. And we have to respond to the attack with the response planning, mitigation, and event management. And the last function is to recover. After the attack is away, we have to go back to the normal. So we ask the plants to do some plans and restoration procedure to reinstate capabilities, like recovery planning and business continuity. We're talking about 323 controls, and I show it later in this presentation. So what we ask the plant to do, we ask them to do a work planning, which consists of 7 stages. First, they have to do mapping of dangerous processes and risk. They have to map every system or process that handle hazardous materials. They will do some Excel sheet. Then they will have to do cyber risk assessment with our methodology, and I will show you later. Then, as a result of this risk assessment, they will do classification of ICS system. I will explain it. And we give them 12 months to finish these 3 stages. 3 months from the day that they renew the toxin permit. Remember, they have to renew it every 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, it depends. Then, as a result of the classification, that they will know, the plants will know their required control. Of course, they know the existing controls, we hope so. So they will have to compare and to do the gap analysis. Then they will have to build work plan in order to fill this gap. And then to execute the program, maintenance, monitoring, we give 24 months, it's a lot of time, for these 4 stages. So the whole cycle will be 36 years. 36 months, 3 years. It looks too much to you? Okay, we ask it later because we are not sure about, we think it's long time. So, how we are doing the cyber risk assessment in these plants. So we've developed 2 Excel sheets, very simple. The first one is risk probability file. Okay, we estimate the risk probability, and we allocate the letter C, the letter P, and the second Excel sheet is impact assessment file. We allocate the letter I, and we use this equation: risk equal P plus 3 times I. Okay, there are many methods to calculate the risk. The NCSA, the National Cyber Security Authority, chose this one because this one is give the impact, more influence on the equation, because we are talking about life, okay? So let's go to the files, to the Excel sheets and see how we're going to do it. The first one is the risk probability file. We developed a very simple Excel sheet which consists of 36 questions or 36 parameters. We ask the people actually in the plant these questions, and by the answer we give the grade. For example, first question, number of employees who have access to HMI. If the answer, for example, is between 10 to 50, so we give the grade 3. Okay, very simple. Next question, for example, number of employees with access to ICS. If we have more than 50, so the grade will be 4. Another question, HMI station technical support. If only employees of the organization support this station, so the grade is 1. If I have external suppliers, the grade will be more. And I go over 36 questions. I can publish, I can send you this sheet, no problem. And then I will do the average. I take the 36 grades and do the average, so I will get number between 1 to 4. If it's 3, for example, what is the level of exposure? Who can tell me? You sleeping? 75. If the grade will be 2, I have 50% exposure. If the grade is 4, 100% exposure. Okay, got it? So for now, I have P. I calculated P, and I have to calculate now the impact, right? The I, in order to put it in the equation and to calculate the risk. So here it's very different from IT and very different from OT, because we're talking about chemicals industry. So we use the PAC. PAC is protection action criterion. This is the methodology for evaluation of potential hazards to human life or health. And we divide into 3 PACs, PAC 1, PAC 2, and PAC 3. PAC 1 is potential for dispersal of hazardous substances accompanied by reversible public health impact. PAC 2 is the same, but different. It's with irreversible impact. So people could stay blind or something else from cyber attack. And the PAC 3 is the most severe one. It's with fatal impact. We're talking about people dying from cyber attack in the industry, in the hazardous materials industry. So we use the PACs, and how are we going to calculate this PAC? So we use 2 software. You can download it for free from the internet, the Haloa and the Merplot. In the Haloa software, you have to give a lot of input about the material, about the container. For example, you have to give some atmospheric condition like wind direction and intensity. You have to give precise details of the location of the material, including height above the sea. You have to give some details about the container, shape, dimension of the container, and you have to give the spreading algorithm like Gaussian or heavy gas. Okay, so then you get from the software export. The export data is recommended separation distance. So you got it. The Merplot software gives you the dangerous area on the map. So you see 3 areas. You see the red The red circle is pack 3, is the most severe. People are dying here. The orange circle is pack 2, irreversible impact, remember? And the yellow is reversible impact, okay? This is the pack 1. So what I will do with these details. This is example that I did in some Israeli plants. On purpose, I deleted the addresses and the names of the places. But you can see that I got here the 3 packs. The first one, the red, is 11 meters from the site. We have 200 ppm material. ppm is part per billion. If I say 200 ppm, I mean 200 parts of hazardous materials in a million parts of air. The greater the distance from the dispersion area, the lower is the risk, okay? So you see 200 ppm, people really dying in this place. The orange is for 28 meters, 45 ppm, and yellow, 5 ppm, 83 meters. And then I got the radius of the impact of the cyber attack on the real map. So I've calculated the pack. Now I have to translate it to the impact assessment file. This is the second file that I talked before to calculate the I, the impact. Remember again, the equation is risk equal P plus 3 times I. So I have to calculate I, and we do it by, unfortunately, I will talk about it at the end of the presentation, with CIA triad. We inherit this from the NCSA, and we ask 3 questions concerning confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And same like the first sheet, we give grade. We give the grade here, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So let's see example for question. About confidentiality, we ask, what is the level of damage caused to the plant following data leakage from an asset, for example, controller or field device? If the answer is, for example, no impact, I know what type of controllers, but there is no impact from this knowledge, the grade will be 1, as you see here. Let's see what I ask about integrity. What is the level of damage of cyber attack causing disruption of process related to hazardous materials, such as uncontrolled change of temperature or pressure? This is more dangerous, right? So, let's go back. And if the answer is pack 3, remember the packs? The grade will be 4. And last questions about availability. For example, bless you. What is the level of damage to the plant caused by a long-term shutdown? Okay, it's very important issue. Oops, again. So if the answer is, the result is pack 1, I give the grade 2. I hope you got it. Yes, okay. And then I'm not doing the average now because it's the impact. I take the max of the 3 grades. If I have 1, 4, and 2, I take the 4, the maximum. So I have I equal P. I equal 4. So we have P. Remember P? We calculated P, the probability. We calculated I, the impact. So what can I get now?
Risk.
Risk. Right. So I can calculate the risk exactly. So the risk will be P plus 3 times I. For example, if P equal 3 and I equal 3, what is the risk for the asset? Tell me you before you sleep.
12.
12.
3 plus 3 times 3, 12. Okay? I see that the lunch was very heavy to take. So the answer is 12. I have risk of 12. So I take this 12 and go to the heat map. You see the heat map? You see the colors? We have the green, yellow, orange, and red. We like this color. If it's 12, I'm in the orange color. So I look here. I see that orange color refers to control level package 3. I will explain next slide what is control level. But if I'm control level package 3, I have to implement control 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So I see that I have to implement control level 3. Of course, we have many types of controls like detecting controls, monitoring IDS, guiding controls like procedures, preventive controls like firewall. And if I'm in level 3, I go to the list of controls. We have a very long Excel sheet with 323 controls, remember from the list. And every control has the control level. So if I'm in control level 3, I have to take all the control level refer to 1, 2, or 3. So with our example, we have to take 30 controls of level 1, 164 of level 2, and 102 from level 3. The calculation is 296 controls. And we have to remember that the higher level of control, the better of protection of the system, and of course more money. So the manager or the board of the plant will ask themselves, what do I do first? 296 controls, it's a lot. So we suggest that three factors must be taken: the effectiveness of the control, the implementation speed, and the cost of the implementation of the solution. And every plant will have to draw this graph. Okay? The horizontal graph is the cost of the implementation. The vertical is the effectiveness. And the size of the circle indicates the speed of implementation, as big as fast. So every plant will have to see what they will do first. For example, employee awareness campaign is cost less and more effective if we compare it to DLP implementation. So for the last 3 slides, 2 minutes and 3 slides, I talk about challenges and changes. 2 main challenges, speakers talk about it today and yesterday. ICS security lack of expertise and lack of communication between OT and IT staff. And to explain it better, in order to be cyber expert in hazardous materials industry, the following specializations are required. I have to know IT, something about server, workstation, communication. We have many people who know IT. I have to know IT security. I have to know something about firewall, proxies, content filtering, so on. I'm working with the industry, so I have to understand what is ICS engineering, controllers, field devices. Because we're working with cyber, we have to know something about ICS security, how to code control, how to deal with controllers. And we have to be here in the little red dot. Few people are here, IT and OT cyber security experts. But for us it's not enough, because we ask another expertise, hazardous material expertise, in order to calculate the impact, as I showed you before. And we think maybe we give a new name to this expert, cyber ecologist. This is the new expert that we need. The second challenge, everybody knows, we have 2 networks, OT, IT. The big challenge is to, you know that the CISO is the king of the IT network, and operation manager is the king of the OT kingdom. And the big challenge when I go to the plants is to take them and sit them together at the table and work together to defend the plant. It's very important and big challenge. And last slide, we like to do a major change with our methodology. I talk about CIA triad, remember? It referred to IT. We took it from the National Cybersecurity Authority, but we think that the SRP triad, which consists of safety, reliability, and productivity, we think that safety is the most important thing, is more suitable to our industry. So the next year, this is going to be our challenge to change the methodology by SRP triad. To finalize, cybersecurity is ongoing process, and we are all here to take care of it, of course, and to protect our critical assets. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Any questions? Anything you want to say?
Everyone's here.
Oh, we've got one at the back there.
I'll tell you what, I'll just call it out. You've identified the different number of companies in each of the groupings. Have they been informed?
Could you repeat the question?
So early on in your set of slides, you identified different levels of companies that...
Right, A, B, and C.
Yes.
Right.
Have the individual companies been informed and told that this is coming their way?
This regulation is going to, we're going to implement this regulation next month, and we start with the A group, only with the 300 main, the big ones, which have to renew it every 1 year. The other group B and C will be later, in 2 or 3 years from now.
Yep. Oh, we've got just one here.
Yeah. Does the regulation or yourself take any position whether it's the IT CISO or the OT CISO or who is in the end accountable for getting the plan in place?
Who has account for the
In the
for
end,
implement?
Yeah.
Of course, the board of the plant. It's private plants. The manager, the board, is responsible. Is responsible already now, but not for cyber. Is responsible to hold the hazardous material, to transport and maintenance, and they have already the toxin permit. So we're just adding cybersecurity defense. That's it. That's the change. More questions?
Yeah, on your equation, you've got risk is 3 times impact